There's already a line of people here.
132 at station.
Success, got a tag. So if you haven't done this before, if you've got a car this old, it's a 91 CRX, you can get an antique tag, which is kind of crazy. I remember seeing it at the Manchester Auto Show when I was 18 years old. I remember seeing the pictures come out when I was 17. Never thought I would get a tag that says antique to put on a 91 CRX. So we're here, we're waiting for BJ. He's the one that has the keys to the storage unit. Look how grim up here is. Here's all the stress. Right, you need some more grey in that.
I know, there's one or two.
Need some just for grey men. So BJ's gonna let us in. Hopefully the CRX starts because I forgot to bring a battery. There it is, it's dusty. So a couple of things I wanna get with it. He has a spare hatch, the spare roof, and the original white hood that came with it are there. I want to put those. I'm not going to film too much because he's got some other stuff in here. But he did change these seats. I wanted to put the factory seats back in it just the way he had it. Other than that, it's just the way we left it. So this is the motor that Paul and I put in all those years ago with the turbo kit that we made fit. It was the Grady turbo kit that we modified to make it fit. It was for a single cam. I don't know much else about it. I don't remember it. But it's running Z-Dyne, which that was a long time ago. I don't even know if we can get the software for that or even the cable. But we'll see. Battery's disconnected. It's 5 or 20, so it isn't too old of a battery. Sounds kind of like it's the door switch that's hit or miss, isn't it?
Alarm going on.
Yeah. Oh, there she goes. It runs. Looks like the alarm's going off now. Hold on. I'm going to move that thing over there. No power steering.
We got fucking little girl hard.
You're slow. You're good. So I just left. The CRX is running, but it needs a little attention. It's got a brake drag in a little bit. That's George driving my truck. So brake drags a little bit. A few other little here and there. No air conditioning. This window doesn't work. He did convert it to electric windows using OEM parts, but it doesn't go up and down. And AC doesn't work, so we're gonna have to fix that before the show. Obviously, if the rain for some reason comes, we can't have the window down. If you're not familiar with this, this is a UK gauge cluster. I actually gave this to Steve. It was in one of my cars, and he really liked it, and I gave it to him many years ago. Also a couple of other parts that he put in here. The back tail lights I'll show you when we get out. They were out of my white HF. I had a CRX sticker made in white by Pat the Stripe guy. We kind of digitized the sticker and converted it into white, so it kind of went with the car. These are, tell how old school it is. Look at that air fuel ratio gauge. One of those that doesn't really work, and if it does work, it doesn't give you really any accurate reading. Does have an updated radio in here. I mean, it runs good. It's running on Z-Dyne from what I remember. I tuned it probably 12 years ago. Check engine light just came on. Car still feels like it's running okay. The brake isn't really dragging anymore. I don't know if it's just loosened up or if it's just toasting the caliper, which I anticipated putting brakes on it, so I'm not that concerned as long as it doesn't fail. But if it wipes out that brake rotor and pad, it's not a big concern because of course they're going to get changed. This was something that Steve used to build for us too. This is a basically this used to brake on the climate control panel from the CRX, and this is an Accord unit they used to modify and make work. It made one of these for my white CRX, and it basically fixes that weak link here that is notorious, and it looks looks, you know, period correct. It's, you know, same year Honda. This 4th gear. Yeah. Watch when I go into 5th. It feels a little bit taller. Ready? So it's quite a big drop, so I think it is a different 5th gear. 96 was when I met Steve, and he had this car. It was crazy because I just bought a green CRX, my Tahitian green that I've shown on the channel before, and white was the car I was trying to find when I got the green one, and Steve had the white one. So it was always like we immediately bonded over CRXs, and as time went on, we, you know, hung out, went to shows, and got to know each other really well. It couldn't be it couldn't be much further from being OEM. I mean, it's got a UK gauge cluster, it's got Japanese seats, it's got Japanese rear seats, it's got a ZC motor, different gear ratio transmission, different gear ratio rack. They put a Quaife rack and pinion gear, they offered a different ratio. And then of course different suspension. I don't know what it is, but it feels kind of heavy. And of course the carbon hood, and it's got a different clutch. I think this is the clutch I sold him when I used to be an ACT dealer way back in the day. So a quick funny story. We put this ZC motor in and turbo kit, and Steve had nitrous on this at the time too. I think he had a 25 shot of nitrous, and he suddenly got into going to the drag strip, and he went to the drag strip a whole bunch of times, and he was having fun. And of course, what does a drag strip do? It makes you chase time. It doesn't matter what the little slip says. You want to go just a teeny bit faster, and then as you go a little bit teeny bit faster, you want to go a little bit faster still. Well, I tuned the car and I basically gave him the map, and he knew about, obviously he was a master tech, but he didn't have as much tuning experience, but he knew what it all did. He was at the drag strip, go a little bit faster, advancing the time in, and basically melted a piston right at the top of the run and limped it back to the house, running on 3 cylinders. Well, I think 2 days after that, I was getting married, and Steve was in my wedding. So he comes to the wedding, you know, we're doing the groomsmen thing, standing outside. The bride is inside with all her bridesmaids, you know, in a really nice suite. You know, the dudes are standing outside under a tree. Steve comes up to me and goes, I melted one of the pistons on the CRX the other night at testing tune. Do you still have that spare ZC? I said, yeah, I still got it in the shop. Give him the keys and say, go get it. And he goes, well, I got to give you something for it. And I could never pay Steve back, and I could never give him anything. So I told him, hey, don't worry about it. I got that one for free when I ordered a Japanese motor. They give me as like a bonus, so it's free. Just take it, you can have it. And I gave him the keys on my wedding day, and while I'm on the honeymoon, he goes back to the shop, and I said, do it at the shop, use the lift, use all my tools. You know, so he swapped the block at my shop. In fact, he swapped the whole motor, cleaned up, you know, made everything better than what it was when I left. I get back, and it put money on my countertop, right on my bench, and he goes, the company I used at the time, on their site, said ZC motors were like $450 or $400 back in the day. He puts $400, $100 bills on my counter. I'm like, dang it, I was supposed to give him that stupid motor. So then it was like an ongoing joke for a few months after, trying to get the money back to him. All right, so coming up to the Sunshine Skyway here. Steve always lived on the south side of the bridge, I lived on the north side, so we're always kind of going back and forth to this bridge. So I'm gonna get my toll money out, and I'll speak to you in a minute. I'll see you when we get to the shop. There we are, home sweet shop. The Silver Dancer is getting picked up tonight. I'm not going to show too much just in case the customer is not interested in being on film, but when he comes around the corner, he's going to see this. A black S2000 and a silver S2000 with the LHT banner. Look how nice that looks. And of course it's got the heart-shaped necklace in there. The Silver Dancer necklace right there. There it is. Such a cool car. Thank you everybody that commented, watched the video. Hopefully you enjoyed the build, and hopefully you enjoy this car to the new owner. removing all the stuff at the back has actually leveled it up quite a bit. The tires are a little oversized, so they do rub. Now I'm going to go ahead and give it a good wash, and Sean is going to come over here this morning, give it a polish. So it's pretty thin paint, so we're just going to have to be careful, just do a real light polish, just to kind of put, you know, a bit of a shine on it. Then I think the black over here, once you get wax in there, it's really difficult to get out. It kind of loses, you know, that black deep look. Back in the day, we used to color match this to the car, which really does look good, and often color match this. On Esther's car, she color matched this and this in red. Mine, I did it, but I left this black, but I kind of liked it. I guess just a different look. Now, I'm going to leave that black because it is original. That's the way he had it. So I'm just going to kind of clean up what's there. So once it's all polished, I'll kind of show you the technique. I'm going to use SEMA dye on the plastic. And it's something I've used on a lot of different things. I keep forgetting to kind of share that stuff with you. This sometimes will actually polish. So I'll try and polish that first. If not, we'll have to dye it too. But let's go ahead and give it a good wash and get it ready for Sean. This is where all the young people call it satisfying. I don't get it. I don't find it satisfying. I find it fulfilling when it's clean. But just watching somebody do something, I won't call it satisfying. I don't get it. Like when you watch someone across the street from you work hard in the sun, you call that satisfying? That's kind of what I'm thinking if people think, like the teenagers say, that's so satisfying, and that's because they're not actually doing anything themselves. That's Florida snow right there. We give it a little bit on the wheels, we'll scrub the wheels. There we go. Let me start a new word. That is so fulfilling. It feels like I'm actually getting somewhere. So the paint is pretty thin. We'll let it dry off all the way. We'll get it under the big lights. This reminds me of what my HF was like, because it was all original paint and it wasn't chalky, but it was like dull. So I don't know. You got any plan for this? Do you really know what you want to do with it?
Not yet.
Just do a test
get
spot?
it inside, get it under the lights.
Yeah.
You know, see what's up with it.
Yeah, I mean it's
worn on the corners.
Yeah.
So we can go real light on it.
Yeah, it's pretty thin. We'll just get a bit of a shine on it, give it a little bit of love. But yeah, original paint from 1991. And it's been a real driver. It's not like a show queen that sits inside it. It's driven. It's properly driven and used. It's gone to No Peep probably 6 times. It's gone to the Dragon a couple of times. There it is, look at that. Wow, for some old paint, Sean, you really did some magic.
Thanks.
I appreciate this. I know it was weak paint. I know it's really difficult to kind of go crazy on it.
Yeah, you know, put a little bit of time in it. Went real careful. 30-year-old paint that, you know, mostly sat in the elements most of its life. It's kind of like you get to the point where you're teetering on,
Yeah.
you know, preservation versus keep cutting down more and more and more. And it's got some shine to it.
It has. It's definitely got a shinier look. It's wider. You got a lot of that dull, like dirt look out of it. I mean, that's kind of what I was looking for. I wasn't expecting miracles. I'll just go ahead and trip over that stuff right there. But no, that definitely looks better. So we talked about this. It doesn't shine. It shined up a little bit. As you see, it's kind of porous. So I think we're going to dye that plastic and dye the bottoms and possibly dye these, because this has kind of got that dry look and it's not going to come out. Look how well the door closes still. It's nice and tight. So long term, I'm going to go out on a limb. I might paint the car. Not right now, because it's definitely not in the budget. But in the future, because it's such a nice car. But that looks so much better. Sean, thank you again.
You're welcome, John.
You work miracles. Yeah, it's got the Greddy, it's got the bullet resonator, it's got the regular CRX cat.
The little downpipe from the kit.
Yeah. I mean, it's just how it used to be.
Yeah.
Wow, look at those bushings that are dry rotted.
White instead of red.
Yeah, look at that. It's like, it's broke. They're still there, but they're kind of old looking.
And that's why this car's so cool. I mean, it's 100% time capsule.
Yeah, it's just as it was. I mean, it's It's crazy to see this stuff.
That's how we like it, though.
Yeah, it really is. Which is the one that
solid
makes a
in there.
noise? That one doesn't make a noise. See this one?
Oh yeah, look at
Oh
that.
yeah.
That's not better. Let's keep doing that.
Well, once I got driving, that squeaking cut
You
down.
might need a rotor. You kind of see that kind of freed up and stopped.
Yeah.
You might need a rotor.
Yeah, it might be warped. We'll have to take that apart. So my plan is, you see how the plastic kind of goes white here? Well, we're going to clean that and dye the plastic, and it'll look great. And I'm thinking about doing this too. It'll just freshen it up when you get the black nice and black against the white. It kind of contrasts and makes the white look better, believe it or not. Because like Sean was saying, you can only do so much with that staining on there. And he did a good job, but there's only so much he could do, and he didn't want to take paint off. Obviously, look at that. You can see one of the intercooler pipes right there.
That gator axles on it.
Yeah, you know what? This is a styrene intercooler.
Is it really?
Yeah, you recognize that? See, it's got the.
That's what I was trying to look at.
Yeah, this is a styrene
yeah, it is,
intercooler.
isn't it?
This is. This is what we all did back in the day.
You didn't need any more than that.
No, I mean, I don't know how much boost it's making. When I drove it very easy. Is that like a? Look at that. That's like a skid. It's like a.
Yeah, for probably the
bump skid. That's genius. He didn't have any fabrication stuff, so that's just something he found and made work.
It up and bolted in.
So give me some feedback, guys. Now, if you got some good quality comments, I mean, I try and answer the comments. If you watch our channel, I do try and engage, because I take a lot of your guys' comments serious. Of course, there's some clowns on there which you just got to look at and shake your head and just move on. You guys know who you are. You're probably doing it just to be funny. I really feel like it.
You know who you are.
Some of the guys just do it because they're just clowning around. If you meet them, they're actually cool guys.
Yeah.
But there is a couple of clowns on there, which, yeah, I always try and encourage people just to find a different channel, because this channel isn't for you, kind of deal. But if you think, what do you think I should do? This isn't going to happen right away. But part of me next year wants to repaint it, fix whatever moldings we can, either go through the motor.
Well, like you said, it's not going to happen quick, but this car is forever. This is never going anywhere else.
No, it's never ever going to go anywhere. As much as I said the Burt hatch isn't going to go anywhere,
It might.
it might, because I can only do so much. And this, even though I wanted to keep it, this guy kind of coming into my life, which I didn't want it to come into my life in that way.
Yeah, the way we got
Kinda
it, very
changed it.
sad, but
It really is. It's weird. You gotta kind of, you know, do things the way you think that person would have done it. He asked me a couple of times about a B motor. He goes, "What do you think?" You know, because he's seen me put a million B motors in these things. He said, "What do you think? Think I should do a B swap? Where am I at to do a B swap?" So who knows? Maybe I'll do my old B16, B18, something like that, like I used to do back in the day with the OEM mounts. You know, I like this Gretty exhaust. This is like a really just a familiar sound. When you hear this car with this exhaust, it just sounds like every CRX I've ever owned.
from hitting the key to, it's all memories.
Yeah, you just hit that key, you hear the starter, you hear the dee-dee-dee-dee. Everything is just so familiar. So tape this up. I'm going to go ahead and finish taping the bottom up and prep it. Now what I'm going to use is this stuff right here. This is by SEMA. They offer a whole bunch of colors. This is terrific. It's dye. It kind of goes on like spray paint, but it doesn't look like spray paint. Actually soaks into the plastic. Works really, really well. So we'll do the bottom section first, let it fully dry, and then possibly do the middle molding next. Valve cover, Austin. Thank you. I didn't like guilt you into doing it, did I?
Listen, I know how important this is for you, John. It's just as important for us. So if we could do something in his memory, I never got the chance to meet him, but we're all about doing, good karma stuff. So
I hear you. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. It's for this show. Just use the pressure washer to clean these up and use some harsh soap. Kind of scrub them. I'm going to go over them with the prep all right here. It does a good job to put a nice clean surface on it so that we can hit these with dye. And I'll put them out in the sun also. Just got to wipe them over one more time and we can coat these next. This will look so much better when you see the paper off. It leaves just a nice plastic look. It doesn't have like a sheen to it. It's got a nice kind of a flat satin look. Where will you see this? It makes such the difference.
Deal on the stage. So they're halfway there already.
See the difference now, how much blacker it is with the dye. So next step is to do these moldings here. This one is almost like a smoother plastic than this. This has more of a rubbery texture, and of course it's white, doesn't have that really crisp black look. So it makes a big difference doing something like this. And again, use that technique. Usually do 4 or 5 really light coats. I'll get some more pictures of this outside, you can see it better. Don't know how much this is really showing up. But again, look at the front.
On behalf of AB Powder Coating, we did this in his honor.
Thank you so much, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to preserve it, so this
You're
is
all
the
right.
best way to do it.
You're alright, you know that?
Hey, I try.
You really are. I almost dropped it.
try.
No matter what everyone in the comment section says
Yeah.
about
Yeah,
this
everybody in the comment section,
Forget about
don't
it.
worry, don't listen to those
That's
guys.
how I know they're still watching, is by the comment section. Yeah, that's right.
Exactly. Beautiful.
Yeah.
George, you want to hang on to that? I'm going to keep taping. Jeff is over there doing some secret last minute stuff for his car. Don't tell anybody what he's doing, I'll black it out. No pressure for messing that up, George.
No, I know.
It's only a super rare ZC valve cover that you can't get anymore.
You know what's crazy? I've been into these so long, and this is the first one I've ever touched.
Is it really?
Never messed with one before.
I did so many back in the day, and then for years and years and years, I haven't done them. It's just bizarre.
I had the single overhead cam version, like basically an A6.
Yeah. Very crazy. Last minute touches under the hood. Valve cover made a massive difference, and also repolishing all this. George went ahead and polished that up.
Yeah, that wasn't ever polished.
No, I don't think it was. We waxed the paint. Now he's kind of cleaning up the aluminum too. Look at the black now. I mean, it's all in my shadows right now, but it actually makes the white look better. It actually really contrasts and blends it so much better. Look at that. That made a world of difference. So cleaned up the interior right now. It's been sitting a long time, so it's really dirty. I've gone ahead and scrubbed the interior. Now I'm hitting it with a vinyl cleaner. We are going to change the seats back to the original ones. These just don't fit very well. I mean, they fit, but they're, you know, a little bit falling apart. The factory ones just look so much better. They're in the back of the truck. Let me show you. These need to be, they've been sitting again. They just need to be vacuumed and maybe a shampoo. They've been sitting a while. That mark came out. They were sitting all the way down and squashing against that seatbelt buckle, and it looks like it's smoothed out. It's got a bump there still from pushing against it. But go ahead and vacuum these, give them a quick clean with some shampoo. But look how much nicer. Look how nice they are. I mean, when was the last time you saw CRX seats this nice? So we've got a little bit more cleaning to do. Esther's actually going to come and help clean the interior with me. George is spruced up under the hood. Definitely looks nice. We're definitely giving this car love. The CRX meet is something that Steve has gone to every single one except 2. He missed one due to his ECU burning out on the way there in the convertible. And then of course last year due to COVID it didn't go on. But other than that, he has gone to every CRX meet. I can't wait to show you the video that we're going to shoot tomorrow, but 4 of Steve's cars are going to be there. It's going to be such a great time. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. See you at the meet. Hopefully, if you come there, say hi. George will be there. Myself, Esther, Jeff, Mike, BJ, whole bunch of other people that you've not even heard about yet. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Don't forget, love your cars.